Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Savage Sports Network, where you posted, we roasted. My name is Dion Jacobson, and I'm here bringing you this wonderful news update on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. A couple weeks ago, it was introduced that head coach Will Savage would be leaving the Miami Dolphins. Up until a couple days ago, it was unknown as to why he was doing that. We did get an update yesterday actually, that he was leaving due to discrepancies with the ownership, and that there was actually a racial slur that was used by one of the owner's staff. That member has then since been released from the company, but this was still after head coach, three-time Super Bowl winning head coach Will Savage had decided to part ways. Since then, a lot of the players that were on that team have decided to either A, be released from their contracts, or B, get traded away from the team, and that has left the team with only 6 players on roster right now, which apparently they're hoping for a huge draft. But even with only 6 players, they have been depleted of first round and second round picks by the NFL, which they had the option of either those picks would just be nullified and they could draft, but they would have to cut those players, or they could just trade those picks away to different teams. They elected to trade them away to different teams. They got a couple first round picks for those players. The players that left included MVP Paul Kozlowski, two-time MVP Kalen Balaj, Defensive Player of the Year Raekwon McMillan, wide receiver of the year, Tyreek Hill, and strong safety Buda Baker, as well as cornerback Minkah Fitzpatrick. Our guest today, former Miami Dolphin and Arizona Cardinal, two-time Super Bowl champion, and recently signed a 3-year, $16 million deal with the Oakland Raiders, Darrell Garrison. Introduce yourself to the people, Darrell.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
How's it going? Oh, of course. We like to bring in new blood on the team, you know what I'm saying? We like to bring in new people, you know what I'm saying? This is just what we do, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do, you know what I'm saying? So this is Robert, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to be all formal in the beginning, you know, you just gotta hit people with the facts in the beginning, you know? You know, so you gotta be professional with it, you know what I'm saying? But we are pretty laid back on the show, you know, you can talk however you would like. But so what do you think of head coach Will Savage retiring completely from the NFL after leaving the Miami Dolphins?
To be honest, it was a shock because me and Coach, we always had a good relationship, and he was talking about he wanted to win multiple titles, be like the Black Pistol Party and joke. But this came to a shock to me as well. But I am not shocked about the organization. Due to my departure, you know, I kind of.
You were traded. That is correct. You were traded.
Yeah, I was traded to Arizona, and I also dealt with racial profiling from the organization as well, so I understand what he's doing.
So to you, it seems like the organization has been about this racial profiling life. Like they've been doing it forever. It's just now it's really come to light.
Yeah, pretty much. Now that everybody sees what's going on behind closed doors, is like something that I've been saying. Of course, I got fined for the team for voicing my opinion, almost like a Colin Kaepernick situation, sort of say. Every time where I'd be either like fined for like showing practice late, or fined for like not actually participating in some kind of drill, or even when I got a fine for something I might have said to the media during Super Bowl week, my rookie year, that when I might have said something like something dumb, I forgot what I said. I got fined like $7,500 just for.
You were quoted as saying, if I recall correctly, you were quoted as saying, "They only keep me here because I can run fast."
Yeah, I said that as a joke. Actually, I said that to one of my best friends on the team, Anthony Leroy Jr. I might say that as someone was recording, I did not know at that time. And they heard it, I got fined, yada. But, you know, that's on the past. You know, I'm now with Oakland, you know, Raider Nation. You know, just signed a contract, 3 years, $60 million. Dallas did. I'm gonna try to get a championship in Oakland.
Well, we congratulate you on getting your contract. So what do you feel about the players that left? You know, your best friend Anthony Rowe Jr., him and Gregory Streeter did get traded to the Buccaneers for a first round pick next year and a fifth round pick this year. What do you have to say about that?
Just to continue to ball out, man. You know, if we have each other, it's gonna be competition. You know, that's a joke you always say.
Of course.
Out of that situation. They have to deal with, bigotry, racism, but, this is to show that the league, some people are still in the old days of racism and just hate, It's a new day.
Now, it seems a lot of the people that stayed on the team seem to still be in their rookie contract deals and are still pretty young players. A lot of them are first-year players. What do you have to say about them?
Get your money, first of all, get your money. And second of all, just ignore the hate. That's all. Because, yes, this is a business, but you're expanding your own brand, not only for you, but your family, your community, and what have you, for your beliefs. So just ignore all the obvious bull crap and just all out. Don't worry about it.
Of course. Now, you're going to be sitting with me on the draft coming up later this evening. We'll be going over each pick, and we'll be talking and having fun with it as expected, as we usually tend to do here at Savage Sports Network. Last year, it wasn't me, it was the others, but, this year I finally, got to glow up, But so following the Dolphins you already know. So following the Dolphins, who seem like they were creating a dynasty, they were going to be the next best thing since the Patriots. What do you think is going to happen to this organization next year?
Losing so many players from the championship team.
They've lost a total of. If we count how many they've lost, most teams have trouble getting one MVP. They've lost technically 3 MVPs and 3 record holders.
With new direction in that organization and more like the stuff that went past the last few years, it could be like the Cleveland Browns. Honestly,
you projecting them to go 0-16?
No, I would not project that. I would say they would win probably a couple, maybe a few games. But as far as like rebuilding wise, it's like the Cleveland Browns will take them a while before they get that.
So they have signed fresh rookie head coach Jeremy Stott. He seems like he wants to keep the same. He was taught by Will Savage when Will Savage was a college coach. They run similar schemes. He hasn't changed really anything from their playbooks. So what do you think that he's going to be able to do? You think he's going to be able to bring this team back to the same glory?
At one point it will, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a lot of trust, a lot of time, especially with new people, organizations, and the fans. The fans are a big help in seeing them, pretty much turn their back on the organization as well. It's going to take a while at a time,
So your brother, Tyson Garrison, is projected to go number 1 overall. He ran a 4.640. Of course, always shout out to the fan. He had a 4.640. He had a 35.7 vert jump, a 7.02 three-cone, and a 4.25 shuttle, which all those respectively, he got third, and he was third fastest right end, and he was the fastest end and everything else he came in second behind. I don't remember his name right now, but he was second behind him. His bench press, he only got 33 reps, which gave him 8th at defensive end, and he only jumped in the broad jump. He only got 10 feet. So that put him in the middle of the pack. Of course.
Also, the 40 time, he get like a 4.6 flag. But
Of course. Little brothers trying to show you up. They always try to. So, I remember correctly. He ended up. Yeah, he is now. He did hit that growth spurt coming out of high school. He actually was projected as a linebacker coming out of high school. Then he hit that growth spurt. He was a middle linebacker in high school. Came out of high school, hit a growth spurt right before he went to college. Became a defensive end. But he ended up going behind. He was the fastest person in the draft. Was the person that beat him most of the time, which was Brennan Sands, who runs a 4.47 40, a 35.9 inch vert jump, 10.4, a 10'4" broad jump, a 7.02 three cone, and a 4.23 shuttle. They bench pressed just about the same. They bench pressed exactly the same. Brennan seemed to get it up a little easier, but he couldn't complete it all the way. But they seem to be like the top two defensive ends. Do you think the Dolphins should go after one of them?
That's tough. That's a touchy subject because with all the stuff that happened in Miami. But little bro, like I hope he didn't get drafted. I don't care where it is. Like if it was Miami, cool. If it's like somewhere else, cool. I just want enjoy the draft like I enjoy the draft. Just hopefully he'll be a first round. I was third round. Like a long day for my family.
So if Tyson was to fall down in the draft, say by the craziest thing possible, I don't see how the hell he falls past the first 10 picks. But if he was to fall to the third round where the Dolphins could have a chance of picking him up, would you be okay with that, or would you want them to go after somebody else?
Like I said earlier, like no matter where little bro goes, as long as he gets drafted, enjoy the draft process. A little better than I did. That's all love.
We do know that you were drafted in the beginning of the third round by the Miami Dolphins. Your best friend was drafted 20 picks later. So what do you think is going to become of him in the Buccaneers system? Do you think he's going to be able to flourish?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, he didn't get a chance to really quite show his true talent because of the system they ran with so many receivers ahead of him. And, he did look a little bit something this past year, but now that he's in a new team, he really showed the NFL, I'm coming for the top spot. But, like I said, if I'm against him, shut down.
Oh, so if it's you versus him, it's clamps up all day.
Shut down.
Alright. We're going to keep you to that now.
Yeah. You got to read his eyes all you want, but when it comes to us, it's shut down.
Okay, now. We can't wait to see. Goddamn. We can't wait to see y'all matchups in overall over the course of the season. The Dolphins were unable to make any free agency moves due to the fact they had to cut and trade so many people, and a lot of them did have extra large contracts. Of course, Paul Kozlowski got the huge signing deal. I want to say 2 years back. So did Kalen Ballage and Tyreek Hill and Parker Ehinger, who was deemed as the best offensive lineman in the NFL. What do you think? What do you think they can do in the draft to even get close to being a not top 10 pick in the NFL draft? Like for next year.
They need a prayer. That's what they need. They need prayer. Because on the other side, I don't know. You at least get a top 10 pick. I don't say bottom of the season.
No, I'm sorry. For them not to be able to in the top, and for them to make the playoffs. I apologize.
All the missing pieces they had, the 4 guys from the championship team.
Yeah, they are missing a lot of key pieces that they used to have. A lot of the players that they have were on this recent championship team, but a lot of them did not play. But they have a lot of young pieces they can build around. Horrible. But they have a lot of young pieces they can build around. It seems as though they're trying to start over with the draft. They're doing a little extra scouting. They're doing their own style of pro days. Making sure they get all their measurements out. What's a position you're interested in seeing what the Dolphins can do with?
Quarterback. I mean, over time, pieces fall here and there, but they need a quarterback to help and Killer Kai, let's look at him. Can't have that with offense.
This is correct. They're used to having speedier quarterbacks. Like quarterbacks such as Ryan Messier, who had a 4.86 40. But they also have quarterbacks like DJ Parker, who ran a 4.49 at the quarterback position, who has a huge arm, who reminds me a lot of Michael Vick. He has all the arm, but he does not have the accuracy to put with it, like Michael Vick developed to get.
If you look at it and keep grinding, yeah, I'll see that, but I like the environment against him. I get picked.
You trying to get picks all day, every day? No problem. I see you. So yes, DJ Parker is projected to go in the second round. There's also a fourth round quarterback known as Trey Cook, who's shown he can throw the ball accurately. He can chuck it as far as the oceans can spread, but he is not the style quarterback that they like to have, especially with a young offensive line that they're going to have. He does not seem like he's going to be well received there due to the fact that he cannot move as well. He ran in his 40 time. It was seen as a 4.97 with a 7.69 3-cone and a 4.77 20-yard shuttle.
That's a shame because I saw a couple of games in college. It's like he was so much faster. I guess I love over time. Like, I don't know what to say about his 40 time. That's for a quarterback in college.
Yeah, he seems like he has all the things. He just can't move well in the pocket, which he might be. When you think about it, he might be one of those. I was gonna say Nick Foles, but not Nick Foles. Probably one of those. What's it called? What's his name? Aaron Rodgers style quarterbacks, where they might not look fast, but when they start moving, they start moving. You know.
That is right. But, over time we can tell. But, let's see, what other positions that you think
other positions the Dolphins probably need, I would say, since they built up such a repertoire with running back and Kalen Ballage, they're going to need another power back if they're going to do this again, because that's how everything started for them. They're going to need another speedy receiver to put on the outside, to burn people deep, because they have no shot at getting Marquise Butler, who ran the 4.39. He's projected to be the number one receiver in the whole thing. I would say they probably need to go after a Dean Rogers, a 5'9" style receiver that ran a 4.40. Dean Rogers is a sure-handed receiver though. Makes a lot of spectacular catches in between coverages and all that, but he's really precise in his route running and he's really sure-handed. I'm trying to find some of this dumb players. Hold on. You got Deontez Moon, the 6-foot speedster out of Kent State. Don't really have that much tape on him because, I'm trying to pull this up on the spot, but a lot of players the Dolphins are going to have to look at some undrafted players and some players just to get on the field. I also want to see what they're going to do at middle linebacker. Following Raekwon McMillan, they're arguably the best middle linebacker to ever touch the organization.
Shout out to Quan.
Yeah, you already know. I've had him on the show a couple of times. He's a really cool dude, really nice guest. They might have to move probably some.
We always have friendly beasts about our colleges.
We have seen it.
State, along with Anthony Leroy, and all about the youth and University of Miami.
We have seen it. Arguably the greatest thing to happen to Twitter since Joel Embiid. But they might end up having to move one of these outside linebackers inside. A linebacker like James Anderson, who ran a 4.46, and he rep 28 reps on the bench press at right outside linebacker. He's seen as a run stopper. He makes really good tackles, really secure at stopping the run. But he's projected to go in the early of the second, or actually projected to go late in the second round. Do you think the Dolphins at pick 13 in the third, pick 18 in the third round are going to have a chance at him?
Like if somebody doesn't pick him or like jump the gun in the second round.
Because he looks like a generational style talent.
Well, with those numbers, man, how can you make someone all the way down to the third round? Like, that's just crazy. Like, I want to know, like, what is the scouts really smoking on? Because the numbers you telling me is unbelievable.
I mean, there's better hitters below him, but I haven't seen somebody that can really. He sheds blocks easily, like he was an edge rusher. He makes secure tackles. To me, he reminds me a little bit of Luke Kuechly, with more of like a Julius Peppers blitzing style. So only time can tell how that's going to develop. But he's 6'3", 254. He seems like he's the biggest outside linebacker. Well, besides Bradley Ingram and Ben Lane, he's the third largest outside linebacker in weight-wise. DeAndre Boone and Kerry Fowler coming in at 6'5", with Ben Lane at 273 at 6'6" as an edge rusher. I wouldn't even consider him a linebacker. I'd put him more as a defensive end, along with like Caleb Campbell and Tyson Garrison and Brendan Sands. He's around their style of players. But yeah, man, that's all the time we got for today. We're gonna wrap this up, Red. Any shout outs you want to do? Shout out to the squad, all that stuff.
Of course, shout out to the day one, Quan and Killer Cos, Kaylin, the little bro, of course. Also, shout out to Raider Nation. We're touching me, welcome you with open arms. Try to get this Super Bowl. And also, thank you for having me on the show as well. Shout out to you.
Of course. Always love bringing guests onto the show. We're gonna, you're gonna stick around and hang out with us tomorrow to watch the NFL draft. We're gonna do our own analysis of the picks that the Miami Dolphins make, and we'll be having a nice young conversation there. But anyway, we'll see y'all there.